Have you noticed sometimes that encouragement from others is just not enough? Or motivational speeches don't really give you that oomph to push you to do the best that they can do? Or just nothing is working, you just can't get motivated? Well, it could be that you just have to motivate yourself. So I'm not really here to tell you the steps of how to motivate yourself, because we all motivate each other or are motivated by different aspects and different things. I know that when things aren't working out, and even if you have a supportive family and supportive friends, you still typically can feel like you're alone. You're drawn to toxic thoughts where you can't get out of the rut, or just nothing is working out. One step that I like to do is changing my mindset. It's not as easy as you say. Like, you gotta change your mindset. There's times when you're just not feeling yourself and you feel like you just can't do anything right. Motivation stems from the passion of the project and the mindset of the project. Sometimes you think you have the passion, but you really don't have it, because the passion is also a driving force along with your mindset and your determination. Now, I've been trying to get up at 5:30 in the morning, get ready to go to the gym, go over there, push a nice workout, and then come home, prepare myself, and get ready for school. Has that worked yet? I'm not gonna lie, because I'm trying to be transparent here. It has not worked. I have tried everything. Guys, I've watched countless YouTube videos on how to get yourself up in the morning, how to get up early, how to push yourself to go to the gym, what kind of gym exercises to do that'll get you started for the week and for the day, and so on and so forth. I've watched it all and nothing has worked. I've tried different alarm clock sounds, tried putting my alarm clock, my phone of course, across the room so that when it rings, I'll just go and pick it up. And I'm already up, so I'll have to just put my clothes on and go. And I've tried going to bed with my workout clothes. I've tried everything, and has anything worked? No, it has not worked. Why? Well, first of all, I love sleep. I love my bed. It's so comfortable. It's so warm. You know, there's a time in the morning when you just feel like there's nothing wrong in the world and your comforter just loves you more than anything. Yeah, I have that problem. Two, it could be that I'm just not motivated enough and I don't have an end goal. Yeah, my end goal is to lose a couple pounds, but why? And do I really want to do it? If you really want to do something, you would push yourself to do it. Or sometimes you just don't have the motivation, and that's where motivating yourself comes into play. I haven't really done anything to motivate myself, and sometimes incentives works and sometimes it doesn't. Like, to me, if you tell me there's $1 million waiting for you at the gym at 5:30 in the morning, you gotta get up, put on your shoes and go, you best believe I will be there on time. And some people it's just not. $1 million is not because they're rich, it just isn't. It's just the heart of the condition. So I'm just here to say that it's okay if motivational speeches and people saying, yeah, you can do it, or you were born for this, or you're the best. It's okay if it doesn't work out. Or if you don't feel it. You're the only person who can motivate yourself to do something, whether there's an end goal or not, because you make that decision if it's important for you to do it. Now, going to the gym is very important for me, but maybe it's just not my style. So I'll have to find other ways to motivate me to get fit. So maybe it's swimming, maybe it's Zumba, or just dancing, or just nature walks. You just have to find what works for you to get you into that motivated mindset. Now, there's times when it's not just that. There's times when there's the environmental forces coming against you. Like, there's people who are talking about you. There's naysayers, aka haters, who are constantly on your back trying to bash you and bring you down. I'm a woman of faith. I live my life by faith, by the word of God, by the Bible. So one story that comes to mind is the story of David. David was a great king. He was appointed by God at a very young age. So he went through a lot. If you have time, go through the story of David, King David. The way he was chosen as king and everything he went through was just a journey. So the particular story I'm talking about is when him and his army went out to fight some battles, and they left their women and children and people behind in their town. And while they were gone, there was some pillagers or people coming to take over the town and kill people and steal everything and steal the women and children and everything. So when they were gone, their home was left vulnerable and they were attacked. So by the time they came back, they realized all his wives were captives. People were dying. The children were captives as well. Their town was under siege and it was literally burnt down to the ground. So David and his followers were very upset, and especially his followers, they were crying. Like, it said like they cried so much until they couldn't cry no more. Like, they cried. That's some serious crying. And a lot of them lifted their voices. So they were against him. They were saying a lot of negative things like, oh, if we didn't go, like stuff. I'm not saying this is what it said, but this is what I imagined. Like, if we didn't leave, our children and wives wouldn't have been in this situation. See, that's what you get for coming up with a dumb decision when he's a king. I mean, his decisions don't just come out of nowhere. They don't just come to thin air. So he had a lot of bad talk in his ear. And he was just like, oh my goodness, like, what happened? I mean, he was distressed. I think the word they used was distressed. I would have used depressed. Like, the whole world and people who look up to you and people who are around you are looking down at you like you really aren't king. Like, you thought you were king, but you're not really doing a good job at it so far. Like, imagine having that kind of talk around you. And then it said in 1 Samuel, I think chapter 30, it said, David encouraged himself in the Lord. He just knew that there was nobody in his surroundings that could help him and say, you know what, good job. You can do this. You're smart. No, sometimes in life, we don't have people to tell us what we need to hear. Sometimes we just gotta pick ourselves up and just do it. So David encouraged himself in the Lord. The Lord gave him strength, and he was just like, you know what, I'm gonna figure this out. And at the end of the story, he did figure it out. You know, they found an Egyptian slave somewhere who was a slave to those people who pillaged his village. And the guy was like, yo, I don't wanna go back, but I'll tell you where they are if you just keep me here. And David's like, sure. So the Egyptian told him all the secrets and where they were, and David found them, and he took his people back. He took his wives back. He was back to being the king that they all wanted him to be. But in order for him to get there, he had to encourage himself. He didn't sit there and wallow and say, woe is me, everybody's against me, nobody believes in me, blah, 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 all the stuff that we typically tell ourselves in our minds. He didn't have time for that. He was king. So what he did was encouraged himself in the Lord. So sometimes, especially in my journey with school, I have to encourage myself. This past week I had an exam, and there were days that I was just like, what am I doing here? You know, those thoughts in my head like, you know, there's a possibility you can fail again. And I know that's not from anybody but the enemy trying to put me down. And I've heard time and time again my parents saying, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. But after a while, it just becomes like a noise in the background. Like, it doesn't push me anymore. So I had to do what? Encourage myself. Yeah, one day I didn't study, but you know what? Tomorrow I'm going to do better. And the next day I did. I pushed myself. I encouraged myself. Despite what my thoughts were and despite where my environment was, I pushed myself, and I ended up getting an A on my exam, and I was just like, glory be to God. I was so happy because you know what? I knew that I had a down point this week. I was down. I was feeling like I couldn't do it. I failed before and I could fail again, but I just was like, God, you know what? I'm not feeling too good today. I'm just gonna take a beat, take a break. But tomorrow I'm going to do better, and I need your strength, and I need you to push me. And I feel like that's the same thing that David did. So I'm here to tell you that there's going to be days when you're down, even in your journey of whatever you're doing, in your journey to losing weight, in your journey to going to school, in your journey in your new job, in anything you're doing. There's going to be days where you're feeling like you made a mistake in choosing this path. And I'm here to tell you that's just a day. It's just a day. Don't be so hard on yourself. Push yourself through. If you don't feel like doing your best or what you're doing at that moment, whether studying is at your best, at least you studied. You'll be fine. So what I did was just do a quick prayer and then push forward. And the next day I did better. And the next day you'll do better. Tomorrow will be better. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So I'm here to tell you, you need to encourage yourself. Not everybody's going to encourage you. The people who you thought were going to encourage you are going to say stuff to you. The people who you thought were close to you are going to be like, oh, are you sure you can do it? Remember last time you got hurt? You should slow down. Take it easy. Take a step at a time. Those things are also negative things towards your life. And you'll be like, you know what? Maybe I should take my time because last time I got hurt, last time I broke my leg running the marathon. Maybe I should take it easy this time and should just do a half marathon instead of a full marathon. And the people be like, yeah, good idea. No, push yourself. Motivate yourself. Nobody has the right to tell you what you can or cannot do with your goal, besides God. That's all I know. Besides God, you can do it. Why do I look like a president of the United States? But anyway, I hope this encouraged you to encourage yourself, and see you in my next video. Bye. And if you liked this video, please like it and subscribe so that I know what you like and I can make more. See you next time.